Okay, we have Guns N' Roses with Out to Get Me. Remember this? The old days, man. GNR off Appetite for Destruction. This is tuned flat. And actually I'm putting this up for one of my Skype students, Jim. We cut the lesson short, so he asked me if I'd put this up. So it's kind of in parts. It's not the whole song, it's just, you know, pieces of it that we worked on for the lesson. So here you go, Jim. And anyone else that's here that wants to learn some of these parts, welcome. Make sure you're tuned flat. And here's what we got, man. The beginning. Let me show you that first, and then the intro solo we're going to work on. A little bit of the verse rhythm, but primarily the filler riffs that are in that verse, and then part of the next section as well. Alright, so on this it's open D and G, 3rd fret D and G, and then open D and G. Now, two ways to approach this. You can bar it like that, which I think is a little more efficient, or you can use 2 fingers. The advantage to barring is this kind of serves as a mute underneath to keep your playing a little cleaner, and it's more commonly riffs like this would be played with a bar. Not always though. So we're hitting those 2 strings together, and then 5th fret A and D, same principle applies here. You could bar that. I'm using the pinky, or you can use 2 fingers. I still think this is more efficient. Hit those 2, catch the 3rd fret on the low E by itself, and then bar the 3rd fret on the A and D with the 1st finger. And then we need 5th fret A and D twice. Okay, the first one's going to be a little different than the others, you'll see. Not by much, but by 1 part. Fret hand muting following that. And you're right where you need to be, so you just lift the pressure off here with these fingers, not pushing down because we don't want any string tone at all to cut through. And you're just going down up. That sets you up by being in that area for the next chord very quick. It's a triplet, you're going down, up, down. That final down is actually 3A, 5D. And you can catch the octave 5G in there as well. And then move that over to 1-3-3. Okay, try to mute underneath that low E. Just in case you hit it, you don't go. Just a good habit with chords to mute surrounding strings. Okay, now, it repeats all that, but you can take the fret hand muting out. Alright, so that gets through that. The intro solo, which is using a lot of double stops with the 2 strings at a time, sounds really cool. It's used a lot with really in blues rock. And we're going to start with 18th fret on the B string, whole step bend twice, vibrato the 2nd one. Keep that vibrato up around the target note. The problem is with a lot of people is they go to vibrato and it starts like a dive bomb. Boom. And you want to keep it up around that note. The thumb plays a key in that. And then 17G, 18B, and back that G string with a couple fingers, I would. And this was a little different than the lesson, Jim, as I listened in, because I had you doing doubles on the 17. It's 17, 18, you'll go. So you'll bend it, you'll hit the G and B, bend them both, and then do that again, but bend, release, pull off to 15G. And then catch the 17D. So. And then 17 on the high E, half step bend, twice, vibrato the 2nd one. So you have. Remember, a half step is 1 fret, so you're bending this A to an A sharp. Another vibrato there, keep it around the target note. 17 on the E and B, grab those, is kind of tricky to do. That'll be. So when you're doing the and vibratoing that let's see. that B string will kind of be stuck under your third finger. You want to grab it, because now we're going to hit them both and bend it like a quarter to half step or in between there. Then do the same thing, but do it on the G and the B. So we want to grab both those, bend it, and pick 4 times. But keep the bend. Okay, bring it back down, do a bend, release, pull off to 15, and that's both on the G and B. It's kind of tricky. Okay? And then 17 D. Alright, so we have B. And then bar the 15th fret on the G and B. Pick scrape after that. Make sure I'm in tune though. Good thing, because I wasn't. Alright, so we have the old metal rock pick scrape, and you just stick that in between the E and A string, angle the pick back. Alright, and then the rhythm comes in. So we had the focus really isn't going to be on the chords here, but they're 3E, 5A. And you'll palm mute the E string twice. Hit both of them together, no palm mute, and then hit the E string palm muted once. And that's going to repeat that concept. Do the same thing on 3A, 5D. And the same thing on 1A, 3D. So, right back to the 3E, 5A. And then here's the little fillers that we want to make sure we got in on this lesson. So it's 5G. You'll bend half step, release, bend, release, pull off to 3, and then go 5, 3, 5 on the D, G, D. Down, up, down. The reason down, up, down is because it's faster. Alright, then you're continuing the rhythm back at the 3E, 5A. And then we move down to the 3A, 5D. And then there's lots of little, tiny little lead fillers here. You'll go 6B, pinch, harmonic. 5G, pinch, harmonic, but bend it a half step. And do it again, but move your pick hand to a different spot between the pickups. What happens is you can get a different pinch harmonic tone. In other words, all these different tones. So just move the hand around to catch the different frequency. And then vibrato. Then the rhythm will change. You'll hear it go. So we're going to go over that. That's 2A, 4D. Hit that once, those two strings with a rest. Same thing on 3A, 5D. And then 4A, 6D. No rest on that. And then this rhythm's pretty cool. Use the open D string. Now keep in mind, Slash and Izzy, one's doing one part, another's doing another part. This is Slash's part. Palm mute the open D twice, and then catch 7 on the G string. That's the concept that's applied to get you through this rhythm. So you got, and do the same thing, but go to the 5th fret instead of the 7th. And you're going to run that all the way up to the 2nd fret. So it's 7, 5, 4, and 2, with 2 open D strings palm muted in between. Keep it consistent. No rests or nothing. Until you get there. And then we'll go with this fingering. 4G, this is different too, Jim. As I listen to it, there is more to the combination technique that's being used. It's 4G. And then go 5G with your pinky, but you're going to do pick, pull off, pull off, pull off. So you're picking from the 5th fret, pulling to 4, pulling to 2, and pulling to open. Only picking the 5 though, so it's and then this part went, so this is 3A, palm mute, you go down, down, up on the rhythm there. And then catch 5 on the D and G. You can either bar that with either of these fingers or use 2 fingers. Everyone's different. Go with what you feel comfortable there. Do the same thing again, but instead of 5 on DG, go to 3 on DG. Do kind of like the knuckle shift there. Right? We have, and do that twice. Double dots means 2 times. And then you start it over. That whole thing is 3 times. It's almost a complete 4 times of that section, but the ending of the 4th one is different. So I'll play the 3rd one, and then we'll go into the 4th one. Okay, so instead of going, after you do the combination pick, pull, 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 you'll go 3A, 5D, 5G, and go 8 times, strumming the A string through the G string. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Then we're going to move to the 1st fret and the 3rd fret. The 3rd fret will be D and G. It's the same chord, just moved over a whole step flat 5 times. Then you're back to the intro riff. So you'll have, this is the 4th time. Alright, there is a little bit more. I had to write these out, dude, because I wasn't going to remember all of them. The last filler, actually there's 2 fillers we got to do. This one was the one where we had the big jump going on. It goes... It was a jump and a half, you'll remember it. 17 on the G and B, we got to grab both those, back it with a couple fingers. We use these fingers to help strengthen the whole thing and help grab both strings so they don't slip. Alright, so bend it a half step, then hit them again, then go to the 15th fret, hit them again. And that's all strings 3 and 2. And we have to quickly jump over to 1E to 3E, vibrato and pinch harmonic on that 3rd fret E. So we have... And then the last little filler, because you remember you're running through the... the last one was... And that's 11B, 12G, 13B, whole step bend. Remember, whole step, 2 frets. We're bending a C to a D. Technically, we're tuned a half step down, so those notes would be different, but we're just calling it as if it was standard tuning notes. Then you'll catch the 11 on the B, do a 1/4 step bend. Only thing you can gauge a 1/4 step bend off of is going to the 12th fret and making sure you're splitting the distance from that and this. It's real slight. And you're catching the 12G. Alright, so... Alright, so there you go. That should help you out. I have a lot of requests actually for Guns N' Roses on this channel, so it's always good to have some new GNR up here, from the Slash days particularly. Email Mike@rockinguitarlessons.com if you have any questions about things. My website, if most of you guys know, I'm sure by now, launched finally after a couple years, man, early 2014. Be sure to check that out, fill out the contact information. We will be doing free giveaways and stuff down the road, and that's the only way to be informed about that. For private lessons on Skype, you can read up about that on my website. And I also offer what's called CVT lessons, which are very thorough, detailed, exact the way, usually you guys are wanting them off the studio, but there are rare occasions where it's changed. But they're custom video tablature, everything's handwritten and transcribed by ear, and I do send you the tabs to your email and then shoot a video. So if that's something you're interested in, hit me up, Mike at rockinguitarlessons.com. Until next time, you guys, keep rocking. We'll see you guys later.